we pause, we thank you for the blessings you've showered upon our county. We're thankful for the opportunity and privilege to serve our constituents, and we pray for wisdom today as we make decisions for everyone in the county. We're thankful for those in law enforcement, those who wear a badge and uniform. We pray for their protection, and we pray you would keep them safe. After this prayer, we pray in the name of Christ. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. We do have a quorum. Commissioner Stringer will not be present today due to a family emergency. Go ahead and open with the minutes. Everyone should have received an email copy of that, and I would consider a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. All right, we had payroll totaling $339,376.44 and claims totaling $786,719.57. Do we have a motion to approve the financials?
Motion to approve the financials.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Sheriff.
Evening.
Evening.
Real brief here, I got 57 inmates in jail. 25 of those are pretrial circuit, 21 pretrial superior, 7 DOC, and 0 F6. Just a quick update, since the last meeting, you guys signed the MOU for Northern Wells for the additional special deputy status thing that has since been approved by the school system. Just to give you an update on that, that was sent to Lisa, a signed copy, and Shane attended the SRO school already last week and completed that and certified in that. So that is complete. Appreciate you guys taking part in that, and we'll be looking forward to that partnership come the beginning of the school year. So other than that, I don't have any other updates.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
welcome.
you.
See, I didn't lie.
Sheriff,
I told him I was going to be an hour.
did you want to stay for the county engineer, or have you guys had an opportunity to discuss things?
Are you doing it today?
I'm not saying we are, I just didn't know if you guys had an opportunity to discuss that. Okay, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, you
That's
said
fine.
August 3rd.
Yep,
We're still reviewing it.
okay, perfect, thank you.
Evening.
Evening, Matt.
I do not have any project updates this evening. We did take back off with chip and seal this morning. We got through one tanker and we had to stop. The distributor was giving us fits. We think we have it fixed. The rate was not coming out either. Well, first it was too slow and then it went too high. So we did check the wiring. We had a little bit of wiring issue. So we stopped, so we did not have an additional concern. We will take back off on Wednesday. Tomorrow, they're calling for rain through most of the morning. So that'll put us about a day and a half behind. Meridian Road, we've put more dry pipes in. We added a cross pipe from west to east to maintain the drainage. So we're coming along with that. That will be one of the roads that we will hard surface after we finish chip and seal. The chipper is currently calibrated to run number 11 stone. The conversions are number 9 stone. So once we get through the chip and seals, we will do Meridian Road and County Road 500 outside of Rock Creek Stone Quarry. And then the last thing we will do will be the patch that I do have pictures of in here on County Road 600 East. We've also continued the last couple of weeks patching in preparation to start back chip and seal, hand patching and running our Durapatchers. kind of helps seal some of the cracks up before we put the chip and seal over it, get a little more longevity out of it. The next thing, ag equipment and semi-damage repair. I've got some pictures attached to the packet. The first two pictures, first page, is County Road 600 East at 1050 South. This is just on the south side of, yep, like those two pictures right there. This is just on the south side of Keystone. So the semi trucks are coming from the south. That bottom picture is looking south down 1050, or excuse me, down 200. They were coming from the south and making that turn onto 1050. And the top pictures were an area within, you can barely see it, my printer was not giving me what I wanted this morning, where it's kind of, during the hot weather, the oil kind of comes up, makes the road a little bit more tacky, and the weight of the manure trucks is pushing tires down. It's grabbing that and what we call delamination. So it's starting to peel some of the chip and seal layers up in the process. Traditionally, these type of heavy loads are normally seen in the spring and the fall, right? You got your planters and your cultivators and everybody's running your seed trucks in the spring. It's cooler. And then in the fall, no one ever overloads a grain truck, right? So those weights are seen more in the fall when it's cooler. But now with the manure applications occurring during the growing season, July, the roads are not necessarily, I don't want to say, we're built for that. The ag industry is outpacing us. So this is one location. The next one, this one hurts. This is County Road 500 East north of State Road 218. 500 East turns into County Home Road. For all the how 450 turned out, this was a section where that application actually worked and we had good adherence. So this is what we just chip sealed a couple weeks prior. And sorry, grown man wanted to cry here. The manure trucks have actually started going in because the heat came in, warmed everything up. We were well over 90 degrees, so then your roads are well over 100. You can see by my scale at the bottom, we started getting about a ½ rut occurring. If you turn the page, on the back side of that page, that is looking back toward that truck, and you can see where this getting spotty delamination where we're starting to peel it up. And that is a road we had just chip sealed and had good success with. And then the last two pages, this is 600 East. This is a larger, further out view. I'd like to thank Nate for being in the pictures and helping us out get a really good scale of what we were looking at. But this is where the ruts were 6 inches deep from the trucks. And then the last two pictures, if you go to the back of that last page and the last page itself, we ended up doing a full depth, full width patch of 148 feet to get rid of those ruts. So what we found was we had 2 inches of chip and seal sitting on 4 inches of aggregate. After talking to the farmers who are using these new systems, they'll probably put this system right back here the next time, which will probably be next year. So we were already gonna be there. We already had to rip this up because it was bringing the dirt up into the stone from how they pushed down. It was a little rough. We were not really equipped to do this on a large scale, but we got in and dug it down 12 inches and put 12 inches of ag in. This will get dust day over the stone and then 3 layers of chip over it. We will chip over the patch, then we'll do a second layer out further, and then we'll go up beyond that so we just don't have that joint. I'm not sure what all of our currently chipped roads look like underneath. Standards have changed over the years. Like I said, ag equipment has kind of outpaced the road side of it. I'm not saying that anyone did anything wrong when they did this 20, 30 years ago. it met the need and it's survived that long with not a problem. So these are some things that we have to start understanding what the future looks like so we can plan toward it from a maintenance point of view. But this patch here was a full, long day, and then we dressed it up in a couple hours the following Monday, and then, like I said, we'll come back over and chip over it. So we're gonna have roughly probably 2 full days in this patch. The only other thing I have on my agenda this evening, unless y'all gentlemen have any questions.
I guess my only question is, do we have anybody that really knows what a weight of 6,500 gallons of sewage actually weighs?
Our understanding is the trucks are being weighted anywhere from 84 to 86,000 pounds. Commercial trucking's 80,000. Ag gets a 10%.
Fluctuation.
Yes. So they could be up to 88 and still be legal.
So truly, the only answer is, like, as time goes on, we're gonna have to come up with funding mechanism or some way to pay for these upgrades, because, I mean, we're gonna have to identify main thoroughfares, or at least where we think the heaviest agricultural activity is gonna take place, where these weights are going to be occurring. right?
Correct.
We've gotta build these roads up. I mean, that's the answer, right?
Exactly. I mean, like you said, you found 4 inches of aggregate, and you should have a minimum 10 inches.
Yes.
And that's why we did on 450 from County Line Road at Allen County down for the 3 miles. We did the total reclamation.
The other piece we're seeing here is these semis, it's repeated semis, and they're all stopping. If you go back to the County Road 500 East, they're all stopping at the same location. And so that piece is not only just taking the weight of the truck, but the stopping movement as well. And all that force is going into the pavement as it's stopping. So minimum, we're gonna see what the 12 inches does. I'm not saying that is the complete answer, but I thought it was a good start
Definitely.
based on experience.
I'll state the obvious. I mean, we're an agricultural community, and that isn't gonna change anytime soon. And I think our identity would say we don't really want it to. So, I mean, again, we just need to get braced for the expense and repairs. And I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully the community can get behind us on that, because I don't see another choice. We all kind of like to drive on roads, so.
That we do.
Okay.
And
Thank you for bringing this to our attention again.
yeah, not a problem. The last piece I have under operations, the equine power vehicle ordinance that we reviewed.
Yeah, we had discussed this and some changes and proposals to the potential permits, fines, and fees. We are prepared to issue and to publish notice of those fines prior to the commissioners voting on it. That publication will happen soon. We'll be able to read a first reading at the August 3rd meeting and then vote on it on August 17th. So we're on schedule.
Yeah,
There-
in the spirit of transparency, I mean, I myself, like, I don't feel like we're laser focusing in on horse-drawn vehicles, but if I'm gonna get behind something like this, it has to be more comprehensive. I can't, in good conscience, just be like,
Okay.
okay, so we're taking a small percent of what we know the problem is, right, very small, and we're gonna ignore all the rest and kind of be like, well, we put some paint on it and that's good enough, right? I mean, I just, and I'm not saying that's what you're trying to do, I'm just saying we gotta be, I think, something more comprehensive. It makes sense, otherwise we're just, I don't think we're doing near enough.
Right. Totally agree.
Yeah, So,
It'll
I mean,
come down- It'll come down to right away, and
if we're gonna go down, if we're gonna go down this road, no pun intended, but if we're going to, we need something broader that I think is gonna solve a lot more problems than just the narrow track that some of these horse-drawn vehicles are gonna cause. And I'm not minimizing that.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just saying it's such a small part of the equation, like, it only makes sense to me to, we gotta broaden this somehow to make it make sense.
I think the reason that it was presented the way it was from the highway department was that is one thing we know we can rectify and address now. And not that was, of course, a solution for everything.
Definitely not a criticism.
So I don't think that it's intended to be the step. I think it's intended to be a first step. And certainly the horse-drawn issues don't take care of the John Deere harvester, huge farm implements, as you've suggested, Commissioner Vanover. So I would say that. I mean, that would be my comment, at least.
And we have been looking into what is, as we finish that up, looking in how do we handle the larger equipment? Going through state code, so that I do not have a complete answer on, but that is one that is being worked on currently.
Yeah, because we gotta do what we gotta do to support these folks and their day-to-day commerce. It's how they feed their families. And I know there's some sort of compromise here. So I need the information so I can at least, we've pushed the button, we've talked about it. I'm getting calls and getting questions like, now I'm gonna need a little more than I can, share.
We'll do
If I
some.
could, so, thank you.
Yep. And then the last thing I do have on my agenda is we do have one right away from the APC.
That right-of-way, we received a request to change a name
Okay.
and the way it was designed, so that's actually not here today.
All right, that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good evening.
Evening.
All right, first up, permits. As promised, we have a whole slew of permits for Brightspeed. You can see at the top of the sheet there, looks like we've got 6 of them. I believe all of those are in Nottingham Township. They're all for running underground conduit for fiber optics. I've taken a look at all of those. They've paid all their fees. They've got their bonding information in finally, so I'm finally recommending those for approval.
I'll make that motion to allow 6 permits from Brightspeed.
And then we have one additional permit from Heartland REMC.
Yep, let me include,
Well, have you presented the Heartland one yet?
Did I not send the Heartland one?
Oh, no, you did.
Oh,
I
okay.
just didn't know if you discussed it already here.
I have not. Nope. We started with the 6 from Brightspeed, but we do have an additional. This is on the new alignment of 500 West over by Rock Creek. So they're just basically building their new infrastructure to follow the new right-of-way, and then they'll be abandoning the old. So I'm recommending the 6 Brightspeed as well as the 1 Heartland REMC for approval tonight.
I'll amend the motion to include in that the Heartland REMC along with the Brightspeed.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0.
And then, as we mentioned earlier in the meeting, I think we're going to hold off on the speed ordinance amendment until August. Next up was Nottingham 1439, this small structure replacement I had brought to your guys' attention a meeting or 2 ago and mentioned that I was looking at that for community crossings application. I've got an authorization to proceed from USI for assistance with the design of that project, as well as permitting assistance. And I have looked that over, and I'm recommending that for approval this evening as well.
Will that a fall 26 or spring 27?
September 26th is the application.
Make a motion to move forward with the Nottingham 1439 permit.
Second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0.
If you've been out and about, you may have noticed that we started the durable pavement markings contract last week. They've completed the markings on 1100 North and Marzane Road. Should be working on 300 West, Jeff Road, Hoosier Highway, and County Home Road this week. I did notice that they may be hitting a few other roads that were kind of a little bit out of order. I think I saw that they had done some on 100 East between 224 and Murray. got a couple of things to address with them on that, but they're making pretty good progress, so be on the lookout for that. Bridge 71 down on 200 West. You can see pictured here, they're making pretty good progress. They have driven all of the piles for Pier 2, and they're currently working on forming up the footing and tying re-steel for the footing pour. And you can see they're also finishing a little bit of demo on the north pier. Bridge 54 down on 600 West. A couple pictures there, just kind of noting the progress. The first, they poured a sleeper slab for the south approach, and you can see a few days later they had the rest of the reinforcing steel for the approach slab in place. So they're gearing up for that pour this week, and in between concrete pours, they continue to make progress on the grade. The large picture that you see below there is looking south from the south side of the bridge deck. You can see the County Road 900 approaches are being brought up with that grade, so that improves sight distance there. That is all I have for project updates this week.
Thank you. I know we've said it a bunch, but, and you and Matt have done an outstanding job, and thank you.
And I will add,
Every month you bring in something, it's just great, so.
I will add to what Matt had shared about, the manure hauling and stuff. I want to be clear that none of this is throwing anybody under the bus. We're not aggravated with the ag community or anything. In fact, the individuals have been working with us day in and day out, letting us know where their operations are taking place, giving us a chance to go out and look at the roads ahead of time to try to let them know if we see concerns before they start hauling there. So they recognize that it's a problem, and we recognize that it's an evolution of the industry itself. So we're trying to work together to talk about the issues and what does it look like from both sides, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think we're adverse, and, between the two groups, I don't. But,
Sure.
And hopefully, I would encourage more of them to reach out and talk and say, hey, here's what we see, and here's the kind of weight we're gonna have to, push in the future or whatever, so we can at least get a better handle on it. So I'm glad they're at least communicating. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Nate.
Did Matt have an HR report? Did he say
Hello. You guys
Good
today?
evening. How are you?
Good.
As we get started here, I do want to introduce Katie Jordan here to my right. She is the new district service officer. I know that you've met a different one a few months ago. This is my fourth district officer since January. So, but she, yeah,
You're sticking around. Yeah.
she's assured me that she's here for the long haul. So, so this is our semi-annual update. Usually it's an annual update for you, but this is going to be from January till now. So if you want to take a look at the first block there, talking about just our normal activity. While we have about 1,500 veterans within Wells County, we do service also about 150-ish that are from outside the county. But you can see here, as we talk, there are, just in 6 months, we're already looking at almost 60 new claims and 533 phone contacts, 288 walk-ins, and another 122 scheduled appointments. So it's very active. But it was kind of funny when I first started. It was in the middle of the winter, and it was kind of dead, and Dewey kept telling me, he's like, well, this isn't normal. I was like, well, when the weather warms up, it's going to change, and it's changed. So, but which is it's a good thing in that manner. And so we do also have about 142 general contacts, and that is anything from just veterans that we have never talked to before that aren't really going through things, to funeral homes who are working with the burials and things like that. Now, and then you can see some general numbers there that are also about just like the forms and the documentation that we process, which That's actually one of our biggest initiatives that we're going through right now is we're fully digitizing all our old physical files. And so it's a lot. We have about 13 full filing cabinets full of veteran files, both deceased and living, and it's just getting them all scanned in is time consuming. Now in the next block, this is our GDX that is the most current one that's released, and it is from 2024, but it shows the growth that our office has and the impact it has on Wells County. We currently sit at the most current numbers at 20.06 million on the gross expenditures from the VA to Wells County. And so the two biggest areas, I didn't really draw them out besides the two big ones, is the direct expenditures, which is primarily like compensation, pension, things like that, which is roughly 9.5 million. And then the other one is the indirect, but primarily is healthcare. And we're sitting almost at a little over 10.5 million alone on those two parts of the GDX right now. Now, if you look at the trend over that, in 20 to 23, there was roughly about a 3% increase annually. But in 24, there was a 19% increase. And that has a wide range of things. One, increases in benefits and also the processing timelines changes that we've seen from the VA, which have also currently been dramatically changed as they just announced that they are below 70,000 nationwide backed up claims, which is the first time in about 2 decades that they've been that low. You can take a number of features to that could lead to it. AI processing is one, but that is not for claims approval. That's just for processing claims. Now, the last two columns there, that is an estimated for 25 and a projected for 26 for what the GDX would change for Wells County, going up to as much as 21.7 and 23.4 for this year for estimated and projections. If you want to go to your second page, there's two key areas here, just kind of talking about local. One is just reiterating the property tax reform that we are working with the auditor's office on closely. Good thing is that we are moving along very well with it, and veterans definitely are hearing it from every which way, and they don't realize how well we can help them through this. They think they have to do a lot of it on their own, but quick phone calls and they're able to get through this. And also the education piece of understanding the difference between the old way of tax deductions versus now credits to property tax. So, and understanding when you say, hey, I had a $24,000 deduction versus a $600 credit, they're like, well, that doesn't add up. And so this education is a big piece. And then the last initiative here that we have for this year that's kind of outside the office is working with the Bluffton Now board and the city on getting the Hometown Heroes banners kicked off. The goal for that is to have that registration starting at Veterans Day on November 11th. So between now and then is kind of the advertising and getting the policies together and the whole program, and then we're going to have a whole registration process. So as you see, our office is very dynamic in what it's doing, and things are constantly changing both locally, state, and federally on what our measures are. But the last thing, I just needed to do this. Down there you see two pictures, and this is a huge shout out and thank you to you for supporting us in our move for our new office and the new setup. It's amazing how every veteran who comes in right now, they stop in the doorway. It's pretty incredible for them to just get that refreshing experience. And even without that, just the ease and accessibility that we're having right now when our veterans are coming in with their wheelchairs or mobility devices, that it's so much better for us right now. Good. So that's all I have, but I think Katie's got a couple things here for you as well.
Thank you, commissioners. So I just am pretty much here just to brag all about Joe and the great work that he's doing, even though he did a pretty good job. So he has already went ahead and he is already accredited through the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs and also the American Legion. And that accreditation also helps him serve the veterans a little better. So then he can also see the VA file. He just recently got his PIV card and is now able to access all that. And that PIV card gives him access to the VA records. So not as many CVSOs have that as they should, but that's what we're working across the state to make sure that they all do. And so Joe is already on par with that, and he's already good on his accreditation with the state. The state came across and said he was accredited and he's good to go ahead and start filing all those claims. And other than that, I just wanted you to know a little bit more about the GDX too. With the GDX, that typically prior to this last year, so like fiscal year 23, 22, 21, it typically came out in July. Last year, they kind of rearranged the way they did it, and it came out in September. So for this year, we're already in July and we haven't seen it. So we're kind of projecting it's gonna come out in September also. Any other questions that y'all might have? Thank you.
For the work you guys do.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Ada. Hello.
I am Heather Baumgartner. I'm the president of the CADA board. Was just coming for our annual grant request. This year we had $20,114.61 to distribute, which we did split in 4 separate ways. Education, prevention, treatment and intervention, and then judicial. Then we also have some administrative stuff. So you should have all of the numbers for the appropriations. Any questions?
They're all equal this year, so that's. Remember, there was always a little bit of hesitation, so,
There are some
I've
that
no-
are a little bit different.
Right.
But not too much, so.
no, this is great. Do we need this in the form of a motion?
Will we need to have a service agreement executed too for this?
Probably just want it in place and can this be updated?
These are grant monies that they get in.
Okay, they're just reporting back.
And council has already approved the appropriation.
Make that motion.
Second? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 2-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. Ryan? Sir, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Good.
Good. So we got a fee ordinance with some, just take a seat, with some permit fees, that goes along with our ordinance that we had adopted.
Yes, we have to publish that first, and so
Okay.
we'll bring that back on August 3rd and August 17th, the same as we're doing with the fines for the other departments. Yep,
Sounds good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had shared that with Ryan, and I believe I've shared that then with the commissioners as well, so we have that ready to go. Once you've reviewed it, if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you, Ryan, appreciate it.
Perfect. Absolutely. And then I also had the generator proposals. So I had reached out to the other 2 that did not give us a quote for 3-phase. I got one of them back, and then I had another one come in last minute today. So I do have all 3. However, the one that came in today says we're going to use the existing automatic transfer switch, but it's a single-phase transfer switch. So if we were going 3-phase, this isn't, yeah, there's going to be surprises with that quote. I do know that they ran a few simulations to see, if we were running our 3-phase compressors and then we activated the elevator to determine what would be needed there. And I believe it came down to 100 kilowatt generator.
They thought maybe an 80 would work, but it needs to be 100.
Yeah.
If we have
If you went.
everything
3-phase.
running, so we have to kind of weigh,
Exactly.
can we have an emergency without having the AC run, for
Correct.
whatever, and what that value is.
True, absolutely,
Elevators, we have stairs,
right.
you know.
So I think we've got some pretty decent quotes there with the single phase, to keep everything remaining the way that it is now versus going to the three-phase. We're close to tripling the price to go to three-phase.
Right, that's, not sure I can justify that big jump when, strictly it's AC and an elevator.
Do we see ourselves having some sort of an expansion in electrical systems or systems that may pull more here in the future that it might be wise for us to consider three-phase? Because I don't, yeah.
I can't picture that.
Well, I don't see it, and so,
I don't believe so. And, another thing I did kind of research is that there are options for, like reserve power battery backups for elevators. If the elevator were ever an issue,
separate and a fraction of the cost.
absolutely,
Yes, I agree.
absolutely.
Okay, so I think we're back to single phase, so thank you for at least giving us those.
Yep, absolutely. I think we have three good options there for single phase, so just seeing the prices and somewhat of the inconsistencies between the different quotes, the three-phase scared me a little bit.
I get it. Where's your final recommendation?
I believe we have used Gen Solar for several years.
Okay.
Answers his phone calls, and whenever I call him, calls me back, gives me tech advice over the phone. I know he's worked with the RSD. L.A. Brown has just 100% enjoyed working with him, putting rat poison in the generators, things that a lot of people don't think about.
They've been the most thorough.
Yes. Yes. And he did quote us on two different brands. He quoted us on a Generac Industrial and a Blue Star. The Blue Star is a premium product, smaller dealer network though, in case Gen Solar isn't here. So if we go back to the Generac, we've got customer support anywhere you look.
And he's the one with the industrial
Correct.
grade
Correct.
unit.
Yes, because they have residential, commercial, and industrial. And if you sell residential, you can sell commercial, but not industrial.
Right.
So the industrial's a step up.
Do you feel so we're gonna stay in the 80 kilowatt range, you think?
I think it'll be 48.
It'll be 48 or 50, I think that's
We're
what.
50 right now, and I think the comp right now would be a 48.
Okay.
So it keeps it right in that same ballpark, all of the same coverage that we've had since
Okay.
2007.
Then we could be looking at another unit for backup on the elevator.
On the
If
elevator.
That's what we decided to do. Okay.
If that's
Yeah, I know,
a need or a concern.
right.
Yeah, we could always shut down the elevator if we needed to, but my concern would be if somebody were in it and it shut down also. So-
And that's what I was kind of researching with the battery backup, to see if there was a manual release on this, to let hydraulic load come down so that you would at least be able to stop and open a door.
I think Mark Double could tell us that.
Okay.
He could tell us
I
that.
know as soon as we go, well, that won't happen.
It's never been an issue,
It'll become an issue as soon as we say that, right?
sure enough.
Okay.
So,
I'd be okay, however you wanna handle that.
So the Gen Solar, the industrial version,
yes, of the Generac.
and if that was a 48 or a 50K, whatever it
Yeah.
is, KW,
Yep.
that would be my recommendation. I don't know which page that is. There's too many pages.
There are way too many.
I've seen the Blue Star, I've seen the all circuit, I see Fogerhart, here we go.
Maybe we could just start with the date, Ryan, if you could point us to the date, because I see the Gen Solar, we have two different quotes, one
Yep.
from June, one from July. Maybe that'll help direct us.
June.
Okay? So we have a June 9, 2026.
Yep.
Do the 50.
Oh, okay, it is a 50.
Yeah, okay.
And then if I'm looking at that, the recommendation would be to approve a 31,830 purchase.
That's how I read it.
Okay, and that is comparable or better than the others with the addition of the service and what we need in order to install it for this particular project. Okay, Thank you.
That's my motion.
You got it all? I got every bit of it, all right. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. Thanks for all the information. Please thank those vendors for us. John? There he is.
No, here he comes.
Sir, good to see you.
Evening.
Evening.
So we'll try to keep this short and sweet. In front of you, I believe you have information about a Safety First grant that is put on by Norfolk and Southern Railroad. That is the same grant that I applied for last year. About a week or so ago, I came up to find that this grant was open again for this year, but the closing date was rather quickly. I believe it's actually the end of this week. So I wanted to get in and explain to you folks what's going on. On the paperwork for the application, I put a request of $25,000. However, that has been changed. The request for my grant with your approval would be for $12,000. This is a non-matching grant. And the monies, if we are granted these monies, it would go to replace some of the very outdated emergency operations equipment for communications, which would be our ham operators, towers, antennas, and repeaters. Some of that stuff was put back into play, I believe I was told in 1978. And that's some of the repeater and antenna stuff that we're currently having issues with.
We've had some updates since then.
Yeah, there has been. But this is the equipment that we're looking to refurbish or to replace so that we're back up to 100%. So I've worked through J&K out of Columbia City and got quotes on everything, and it was just over $11,000 to have them replace the stuff that we believe needs to be replaced. And that would give us about $800 of wiggle room on price increases between tonight and whenever, if we would receive the grant. So I come to you with asking permission to apply for this $12,000 as a non-matching grant for Safety First.
I'm in favor.
I'll make a motion to move forward.
Yeah, if you could add that.
Include that Vice President can sign the agreement.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So the next thing we have, Mr. Petro had asked me to. No, I didn't know. I was, okay. I didn't know if you guys were finished or not. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I know how difficult it is for me to do three things at once, so I didn't want to do that. John had previously asked, similar to other departments, that if we could create a donative account. That requires an ordinance from the Board of Commissioners. And so we have drafted an ordinance creating a non-reverting emergency management agency donation fund. That way, if John gets donations from third parties, we can deposit those into an account for use by John.
Makes sense. What would that ordinance number be?
2026-07.
07, okay, so 2026-07?
Make a motion to allow and move forward with ordinance 2026-07, creating a non-reverting emergency management agency donation fund.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 2-0.
Anything else, gentlemen? Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Jim?
Better copy, same figures.
Great, thank you.
Good evening. I think you have our paperwork before you, and I brought Lynn, our treasurer, along with us tonight. I think Lynn will agree with me, our biggest increase are expenses are insurance and utilities.
Seems like everywhere, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I know.
So the
It's
first
not
bank
just
of
us.
numbers are the totals from 2025, January to June, and then July to December. And then the full year, you gave us 16.5, which was very generous. We didn't use quite all of it, but I'm sure there was some things in there that should have been, but weren't. So then if you drop down to the next bank of numbers, I've given you the same 2025 numbers to June, and then the 26 numbers, and then the difference in those.
So we're requesting 16.5.
16.5 is what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Small contribution, I think, on behalf of the county. I have no issues with that, so
I don't have any reason to say no.
I'll make a motion to move forward and allow 16.5 to be given to the Wells County Historical Society.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. Mr. Grant?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Lisa and I are here on behalf of the Markle Fish and Game Club Park. The park recently launched a patronicity campaign to raise funds for renovations of the Markle Pool. If you're not familiar with patronicity, it's part of the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority, part of their Creating Spaces campaign. Donations are matched dollar for dollar up to $50,000, and any one donor can donate up to $10,000 to be matched dollar for dollar. Just kind of a brief overview of the park, if you don't know. Started in 1950. It is a 501c3 nonprofit. It is not a municipal park. It's 100% volunteer-driven. It operates off of a foundation that uses money generated off of a foundation fund to operate. This will be the largest revamp of the pool since its inception in 1954. Throughout the decades, it's had some minor things here and there, but this will be the biggest renovation that this facility has seen in quite some time. The town of Markle's committed $10,000, which is the maximum donation available. Likewise, the Huntington County Commissioners have committed $10,000. So I guess our ask this evening, if you're willing to donate the maximum $10,000 towards that project, we would ask that for your consideration.
What's our lit budget? I mean, have we made a contribution to Markle before for anything? I'm just trying to.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, we did something for
I was thinking we did something, or maybe we were asking, we didn't do it. I don't remember.
You were asked for the municipal, the walkway park when we did the playground equipment in the walkway park. And that was for the town of Markle's walkway park. So the Fish and Game Club Park is not part of the town of Markle.
Correct. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't know. I wish Jeff would be here since it's kind of right in his backyard.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And,
where would we pull it from?
It depends on when you want to pay it. You could appropriate it for next year, or you could.
When would you need it by?
It's a,
To match, it's September 15th.
September 15th?
we need,
From our capital?
Bill, that's probably what I would recommend.
I think it's okay. I do.
Okay. I make a motion to allow the 10,000 out of the economic development fund.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Motion passes.
Thank you for your support.
You bet. Thank you.
Stay tuned for updates.
We will, thank you.
We'll watch.
Please give them to
As
us.
soon as the bridge is done, we'll watch too.
Thank you. Well, Michael?
Hello. On behalf of the POCOBASH Task Force, presenting our annual budget request for participation in the task force group. This year, or for 2027, we're requesting $553 as Wells County's share of the POCOBASH Task Force budget for 2027. That budget will go to help cover maintenance of the website, social media and website updates, maintenance of our PO box, grant writing, engineering, legislative events, and impact report updates for the task force. Our focus has been on bringing funds in to help with construction and design of the unfinished segments of the trail, and also in working with state and federal legislators to find funding avenues for its construction and potentially rebirthing the state's trail grant program. So.
Make a motion to allow the $553.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mike. Cemetery update. Welcome.
Hi, Scott. Rob?
Hi.
We're here with our annual update. We gave you an update in March when we did the state library's requested annual report, but a request for our funding for ongoing updates and restoration, and then also the mowing and annual just maintenance. In looking at our annual maintenance, we have, as most groups, most growing budget needs, and so we've traditionally been receiving $15,000 for mowing and upkeep, and looking to add $2,000 or $3,000 to that in order to stay up with our prices for ground keep.
Ongoing services. Yeah.
In addition to that, the commissioners have been generous and giving us money to use for restoration projects, which we've been doing at the Murray Cemetery. And so we're asking for continued funding for necessary projects.
What was the total on that other installment? Because I know we'd agreed to that ahead of time.
I think we committed to $50,000, correct?
Previously, yes, that had been,
And then we know that there was other projects coming. So is your request for in 2026 or 2027 or a combination?
2026, we had already received last year at this time.
Okay.
So we are looking for funding again for 2027.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do we have that line item scheduled in the budget we just approved or going to go send to council? Was that line item in it?
No.
Okay. Okay, there's my answer. Right. Right, exactly. Totally agree. So, I mean, are we looking at 15, or are we looking at in between that and 50, or, I mean, and what do you have as, what do you picture it earmarked for? What cemeteries, what restoration, or?
Up until now, we've done 2 years of restoration at the Murray Cemetery through Bell Ringers. And Bell Ringers would propose additional work being done at the Murray Cemetery. We also know that we have work yet to do at Little Bluffton Cemetery. In addition to that, the $15,000 that's our annual request for mowing does not cover things like we have tree removal, we have some trees that are currently growing into some things. We have fencing that needs to be done and replaced at Old Bluffton Cemetery. We have investigated a monument perhaps at the County Home Cemetery, which currently has no markers or indicators.
Well, there's
That's
one.
one little blue sign.
Yeah, that's covered up by a pole, so.
Yes.
So just some additional, again, restoration work that needs to be done to continue to take care of cemeteries, not just the mowing and.
Did we have, upkeep budgeted in that at least?
Yeah, the 15,000 that is budgeted annually for mowing is in the commissioner's
Okay,
budget.
so
Is that the one that's needs to be increased?
We need,
So.
that's for 15 or 17 on that.
we'd like $2,000 or $3,000 more for that. And we say 2,000 or 3,000 because last year we had lots of trees fall down and they had to be cut and removed and we were going over budget. This year we haven't had any trees fall down, so we're,
Plus some need trimmed up and they're looking pretty bad.
Gotcha. And then we may have, go ahead.
These haven't been, your budgets haven't been turned over to council yet.
Correct.
So if you approve something, I can still,
Amend it? Okay.
Okay.
So I'd like to see the 15 move to 20.
20?
And then
I'm okay with that, yeah.
And then I'm kind of at their mercy of, you tell us what you picture in 2027, what you would like to do and accomplish with the restoration of whether it's the balance of a couple on, or the Bluffton Cemetery. I mean, Bluffton Cemetery wasn't near as bad as the Murray situation. I mean, I walked that. I mean, there's issues and things that need to be given attention to, but nothing on the scale of what was out of Murray.
So, okay, so on that note, and we may have to go back and look, but I thought that we were presented a plan, and then there was a thought on what that long-term cost is gonna be, so in installments saying, we're gonna pay this much over the next amount of years for restoration based on that plan. Is that what you recall, or, because I thought we committed to that, and there was a dollar sign.
Well, I think there was a dollar amount, but they can
Yeah.
choose. I
Right,
think,
where they're gonna go to.
Who they can get to do the work. But,
Right,
I mean,
absolutely. That's what I'm trying to nail down. Was that 50,000 on that, or? Okay, okay. That's what I'm trying to.
So if
Like
it's,
find my own
if it's
head.
50, then I think we should commit to the 50. That's.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
If there's that much work, and you guys would be the
So
experts.
you're saying
in that.
70 total then, right now?
Right.
Okay, okay, now I'm on the same page. I'm good. Okay.
We'll get there.
And then looking then at the 50 and the spending of that, I know we'd had this long-term plan, and Mr. Storer had composed a contract for us, and following this, I may have a couple of questions about the contract, if I could check with him in regards to that.
Works for me.
I don't think we have anything here. I think it was in regard to other services that we had, correct? Or with another vendor? Is that right?
It was in regards to the Murray restoration
Yeah.
contract.
Okay. I have that, and I'm glad to work with Mrs. Wicker to get that done. Or either of these two guys, too.
Absolutely in support of that.
So the motion is 20 and the 50.
Correct. For a total of 70.
Yep. All right.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 2-0, motion passes. The 70,000.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, monthly reports.
they're in your pile. The opioid reporting representative annually, since we've received received opioid funds. We have to report on them, and you have to appoint a representative to do that for you. I did it last year, happy to do it this year, unless you would prefer.
Oh,
Nope.
I would really like.
I'll make a
if you would.
motion, and we'll allow Lisa to serve on that, in that capacity, and we'll have the report.
And I do have everything entered into the system, because I had to, they send me the email.
Okay.
I have not submitted, so,
Yeah. Then,
you sign if it's okay to submit. I emailed it to you ahead of time.
okay, I'll second your motion. So all in favor?
Aye.
2-0, motion passes. So yes, please submit that.
Do we need a motion to approve, or was your motion already to approve the report?
But yeah, motion was to appoint.
The report and allow.
And appoint.
Exactly.
Yes, okay. I knew it was for the appointment. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I didn't keep up to know what it was. Okay. Thank you.
Concrete quotes.
Concrete quote, that was given to me by custodian Mark Double in regards to a couple spots on the south side of the courthouse that need rehab. And he had given me two quotes. There was only a couple $100 difference between the two, and I would make a motion to allow 5S Building Corp. Or Company to do that work on behalf of the county at the courthouse.
Sorry, which company again?
5S Building.
5S Building, gotcha, okay. I'll second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. We doing something with, was there anything else?
That's already been approved. Yep, that was part of one of the bridges. Yep.
Gotcha, okay.
There's been some discussion about 3 parcels of real estate owned by Wells County in the city of Bluffton, close to the old highway garage. While we're discussing the potential for disposition, I just want to make sure that I have the authority and, or at least the consent of the commissioners to move forward. We should obtain title searches on all 3 parcels, and regardless of the disposition, based upon the current assessed value of all 3, those exceed $15,000, we would need to obtain 2 appraisals then pursuant to statute for each. I just want to make sure that I have your permission to engage appropriate professionals to do so, and to take care of that.
We're all in agreement that we should do that.
I'll
Okay.
make that as a motion to allow you.
Oh, great. Okay.
Neil Warden is a local appraiser.
I know Neil's name, yes.
He could be included in your search.
I'll second, and all in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything?
Audience? Ollie?
Okay, Holly? Lisa? Not me? Sir?
All good.
All right, good. With that, I'll accept the motion to
I
adjourn.
will make a motion to adjourn.